Many men over 50 quietly wonder if daily ejaculation is healthy, harmful, or even necessary. Some hear that it's good for prostate health. Others worry it might lower testosterone or cause fatigue. It's one of those private questions that rarely gets an honest, science-based explanation. The truth is, male sexual health changes with age, but those changes don't have to mean decline. What really matters is understanding how the body, hormones, and prostate respond over time, and how daily ejaculation fits into that picture. In this video, we'll explore what research and urologists actually say about daily ejaculation after 50. We'll break down how it affects your prostate, testosterone, energy, and overall well-being. By the end, you'll have a clear, confident understanding of what's happening inside your body and how to keep your sexual health strong, balanced, and natural well into your later years. Let's start with the basics of what happens during ejaculation. When you climax, your body releases semen produced mainly by the prostate gland, seminal vesicles, and testicles. The process is controlled by a complex interaction between your brain, hormones, and nervous system. For younger men, this system is highly responsive, sometimes even overactive. But after 50, things slow down slightly. Testosterone production declines gradually, typically by about 1% per year after age 40. Blood flow may also decrease and recovery times between ejaculations lengthen. None of this is abnormal. It's just the body adapting to a new hormonal rhythm. What's important is that ejaculation remains a healthy, natural function of the male body, one that serves both physical and emotional purposes. One of the most common beliefs is that regular ejaculation helps reduce the risk of prostate problems, including prostate cancer. This idea has been studied extensively. A large Harvard study followed nearly 30,000 men over many years and found that those who ejaculated more frequently, around 21 times per month or more, had a lower risk of developing prostate cancer compared to men who ejaculated less often. The researchers suggested that regular ejaculation might help clear out potentially harmful substances from the prostate ducts and reduce inflammation. While the study doesn't prove that ejaculation alone prevents cancer, it does suggest that keeping the prostate active and regularly flushed could be beneficial. Urologists often mention this when discussing natural prostate health, noting that moderate sexual activity supports the organ's normal function. However, that doesn't mean daily ejaculation is required or automatically better. The key is balance. Every man's body has a different recovery rhythm. For some, daily release feels natural and energizing. For others, it may feel draining, especially if sleep, nutrition, or stress are off balance. Ejaculation releases several hormones, including oxytocin and prolactin, which create relaxation and satisfaction but can also temporarily lower arousal. Too frequent ejaculation, especially when combined with poor rest or low testosterone, can lead to fatigue or a brief dip in motivation. That's why urologists emphasize listening to your body's signals. If you feel energetic and clear after release, that's a good sign your system is handling it well. If you feel sluggish or unmotivated, it might be time to slow down and give your body time to recharge. Another key factor to consider is how ejaculation affects testosterone. There's a popular myth that abstaining from sex for long periods boosts testosterone dramatically, but research doesn't fully support that. Short-term abstinence, like 3 to 7 days, may slightly raise testosterone temporarily, but those changes are small and return to baseline quickly. Long-term abstinence doesn't seem to raise testosterone meaningfully. On the other hand, daily ejaculation doesn't appear to significantly lower testosterone either. In fact, sexual activity, in general, supports healthy hormone balance because it keeps the endocrine and nervous systems responsive. Studies show that men who maintain a healthy sex life, whether with a partner or through self-stimulation, often have better testosterone regulation, improved mood, and more stable cardiovascular health compared to those who are completely inactive. The takeaway: regular sexual activity at a frequency that feels right for you helps maintain hormonal balance, not disrupt it. Now let's look at energy and recovery. Many men over 50 worry that ejaculation might drain their strength or energy levels. This idea has roots in ancient philosophies like Chinese medicine, which view sexual energy as a vital life force. While that's a symbolic perspective, there's some practical wisdom in it. Ejaculation releases small amounts of zinc and other nutrients, and it triggers a cascade of relaxation hormones that can make you feel temporarily sleepy. So if you're ejaculating daily but not eating well, sleeping enough, or staying hydrated, you might notice a short-term dip in stamina. However, if your lifestyle is balanced, with exercise, good nutrition, and rest, the body easily recovers from daily ejaculation. Some studies even suggest that regular sexual activity can improve immune function, lower stress hormones, and boost circulation, all of which contribute to better long-term vitality. Let's talk about the prostate for a moment, since this is where most of the concerns after 50 arise. The prostate's main job is to produce seminal fluid, the liquid that nourishes and protects sperm. When the prostate becomes enlarged, which is common with age, it can cause urinary symptoms or discomfort. Some doctors believe that infrequent ejaculation may contribute to congestion in the prostate, leading to inflammation or pressure buildup. Regular ejaculation helps move fluid through the gland, reducing that congestion. Urologists sometimes even recommend regular sexual activity as part of prostate wellness routines. However, frequency still depends on the individual. For some men, ejaculating every day keeps the system moving comfortably. For others, 2 to 3 times a week is enough to maintain balance without irritation. The goal isn't to reach a number, it's to keep the prostate functioning naturally and prevent stagnation. Another question men often ask is whether daily ejaculation affects the heart or circulation. The answer for most healthy men is no. In fact, it may support cardiovascular health. Sexual activity raises heart rate, improves vascular flexibility, and encourages blood flow throughout the body, especially to the pelvic region. Over time, that kind of activity acts as a mild cardiovascular exercise. Research has shown that men who maintain regular sexual function tend to have lower blood pressure and better overall heart health. The key is moderation and awareness. If you have cardiovascular concerns, it's always wise to talk to your doctor before making major changes, but in general, regular sexual activity, including ejaculation, supports circulation rather than harming it. Some men also wonder about the mental and emotional side. After 50, libido can change for many reasons: hormonal shifts, medication, stress, or even performance anxiety. Ejaculation frequency can affect mood because it influences neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin. A moderate rhythm tends to promote emotional balance, while extremes on either end, too frequent or too rare, can cause irritability, frustration, or low motivation. Daily ejaculation may be perfectly healthy for some men, but if it starts feeling compulsive or driven by stress rather than relaxation, it may have the opposite effect, leaving you depleted instead of satisfied. Experts suggest viewing sexual activity as part of an overall wellness routine, not as a performance metric. Quality matters more than quantity. Let's also address recovery and pelvic health. After 50, the pelvic floor muscles, the ones responsible for controlling urination and ejaculation, can weaken slightly if not exercised. Strong pelvic muscles are essential for firm erections and control during climax. Regular sexual activity helps keep these muscles active, but adding pelvic floor exercises, often called Kegels, can further support endurance and circulation. Some urologists even recommend pairing gentle Kegel exercises with regular ejaculation to strengthen the area, improve blood flow, and prevent issues like dribbling or urinary leakage. It's a small habit that can make a noticeable difference in confidence and control. If you're interested in the longevity angle, it's fascinating to know that several studies have linked regular sexual activity, including ejaculation, to longer lifespan and better quality of life. In one British study, men who had frequent orgasms were found to have a 50% lower risk of early death compared to those who didn't. Researchers believe this isn't just about the physical act, but about the overall hormonal and circulatory benefits it provides: lower stress hormones, better immune response, and a greater sense of connection and well-being. In other words, healthy sexual activity supports the same systems that protect your heart, brain, and longevity. Now, what if you're single or not currently sexually active? That's completely fine. Ejaculation doesn't have to depend on a partner to provide benefits. Self-stimulation serves the same physiological purposes, maintaining prostate health, releasing tension, and keeping circulation active. Some men find that a mindful approach, focusing on relaxation and breathing rather than quick release, helps them maintain balance and avoid fatigue. Others practice occasional breaks to build anticipation and sensitivity. The goal isn't to follow a strict rule, but to stay connected with your body's signals and maintain a rhythm that supports your energy and health. Of course, there are times when cutting back may be beneficial. If you're recovering from surgery, dealing with fatigue, or noticing persistent soreness, it's perfectly fine to take rest days. Just as with exercise, recovery is part of the process. The body restores energy, replenishes hormones, and strengthens tissues between sessions. Think of it as a balance between stimulation and restoration. Both are necessary for long-term vitality. We should also mention hydration and nutrition, because both play a big role in how your body responds to ejaculation. Semen is mostly water, and frequent release can increase your need for fluids and trace minerals. Make sure you're staying well hydrated and eating foods rich in zinc, magnesium, and omega-3 fats, like fish, nuts, and leafy greens. These nutrients support hormone production, nerve function, and prostate health. If you're ejaculating daily, a nutrient-dense diet becomes even more important to maintain energy levels and support recovery. Some men find it helpful to think of ejaculation as a form of energy management. When balanced, it can lift your mood, lower stress, and help you sleep better. When overdone, it can temporarily drain motivation or focus. The sweet spot is different for everyone. What matters most is how you feel afterward. If you feel relaxed, clear-headed, and energized, your rhythm is likely supporting your health. If you feel tired, distracted, or achy, that's a sign your body might need rest or lifestyle adjustments. So what do urologists actually recommend? Most agree there's no single right frequency. The healthiest approach is the one that fits your energy, libido, and emotional well-being. Regular sexual activity, whether daily, weekly, or somewhere in between, supports prostate function, hormonal balance, and circulation. It's when you ignore your body's cues or push past fatigue that problems can arise. The goal isn't to hit a target number, but to stay engaged, healthy, and comfortable with your natural rhythm. Let's summarize. Daily ejaculation after 50 is not harmful for most men, and in many cases it can be beneficial. It may support prostate health, help regulate hormones, and promote relaxation and better sleep. However, it's not a requirement for good health, and more isn't always better. The key is balance, hydration, nutrition, and listening to your body. If you feel well and energized, you're likely in the right zone. If you feel drained, rest and recovery are just as valuable. Maintaining open communication with your doctor is always wise, especially if you notice changes in libido, energy, or prostate comfort. Your sexual health is part of your overall vitality. It reflects how well your circulation, hormones, and nervous system are working together. And the great news is, even after 50 or 60, your body remains adaptable and capable of thriving. Regular, mindful sexual activity, at a pace that suits you, can support not just your physical health, but also your mood, confidence, and connection to life. So the bottom line is this: daily ejaculation after 50 isn't something to fear or obsess over. It's simply one part of a bigger picture of male wellness. Listen to your body, respect your rhythm, and stay consistent with healthy habits that keep your heart, mind, and hormones balanced. Start small today. Your future self will thank you. And if you found this helpful, make sure to subscribe to Men's Over 50 Secrets for more calm, science-based insights on circulation, energy, and vitality for men who want to stay strong and confident at every age.